Ladies and gentlemen, top of the evening to you. What is good? It's been a couple days since we last live streamed. We live streamed on the last day of the Yankees season. Um, and since then, we've witnessed a little bit of playoff baseball. Four series, four straight sweeps, 2 game sweeps, and 3 game series. Every single series. Crazy. Twins swept the Blue Jays. Rangers swept the Rays. Cubs swept the Brewers. Phillies swept the Marlins. Good baseball too. Good baseball. Shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. Oh, Tats is in the house. Pinstripes here. Sean, Steven. What is good, everybody? Yeah, I know. Who would have guessed all sweeps? Exactly. I definitely didn't. But it's kind of, it's interesting too because I said this the other day. The teams that swept now used pretty much, for the most part, they're 1-2. And there's not a game until Saturday. So are they going to go with their 3 and 4s against the teams 1 and 2s that have buys, or like how are they going to try and do it? They've got well 2 more days rest, and the number ones will have 3 days rest total to be used again. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to go with their number threes versus some other teams 1 and 2. So it's going to be an interesting how they set everything up. Really, how they set the next round up, because you got the Phillies got to play the Braves, right? The Diamondbacks going to play the Dodgers. The Texas Rangers are going to play the Baltimore Orioles, and the Minnesota Twins are going to play the Houston Astros. Carlos Correa is going back to town against his former hometown team, so it's going to be really, really interesting. I did see that, Peter. Chubby Checker. Vladdy got picked off at second. Yeah, got tagged by Correa. Yeah, him, Correa, and Sonny were fired up there. But yeah, Jonathan, what's good, man? What is good, everybody? Yes, indeed. Yeah, exactly. Pinstripes, and they scheduled them. I mean, there's not much downtime. Next series is a 5 game series, so we'll see what they do. And then you got the championship series, which is 7 games, and the World Series, which is 7 games. So, and that's going to be. And I'm going to preview probably tomorrow. I'll preview all the next rounds, the divisional rounds, and we'll see. I'll give you my predictions and whatnot. So it's going to be an interesting, really interesting series. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. So Vladdy's grind is well, it's interesting because with the exception of the Baltimore Orioles, all the American League East teams are out. The Jays and the Rays. So you got the Orioles. National League East, you still got the Phillies. You still got the Braves. They're going to play each other now. So really interesting. Really, really interesting. Jennifer, how are you? Mark, so Saucy's in house. Jonathan, shout out, hit them thumbs up, gang, if you don't mind. Let's celebrate some baseball. Playoff baseball now. It's nice to see other teams and the Orioles and the Diamondbacks and the Twins. I don't think the Twins have won in over a decade, and every time they were in the playoffs, they played the Yankees, and the Yankees would sweep them for the last decade. So it's kind of nice to see them get past the Blue Jays and shut those guys up. So you know what I mean? Phillies and Braves should be no longer. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to have them in the league championship series, but again, it's those two. I think the World Series representative for the National League is probably going to come out of the NL East. Probably will come out of the East. Yeah, the Rays and Jays did not look good. The Twins look due. It was like their time to do it, and then they made some crafty trades. And then even the Texas Rangers. I mean, they loaded up on offense and pitching for the last couple of years, so they've loaded up on talent. I mean, Jordan Montgomery pitched well yesterday, 7 shutout. Evaldi threw 5 shutout today. So it's crazy. Yeah, I know. Brandon. I watched the Shifts videos. And there's a couple of people that fear the Yankees are not going to spend any money there. I don't feel that way, but you never know. You never know. But I think they're going to make some. I mean, I know it's a little bit of a different thing right now, uh, where what we thought the Yankees were going to hire a third party outside company to look at their analytics and all the stuff. Now they're basically they're paying a company to look at their own analytics, the other company's analytics to compare to how the Yankees do their own analytics. So it's like a little bit of a different format. I don't know what happened there, whether they swept whether they changed their minds or whether we just got bad information too. So like, whether somebody lied to us. But it's I hope that they hope that they do make some changes that are obvious changes, like the analytic component. If there's obvious changes there that need to be tweaked, and even training staff and you know and somebody, who is it, the a national league team is reaching out to the Yankees because they want to interview Carlos Mendoza, their bench coach. So if the Yankees lose a bench coach, you know, they're gonna have to replace him with a new bench coach. I'd be calling Don Mattingly right away. So if I were him, see if he's interesting. But we'll see. Oh, yeah, Scherzer's throwing. I don't think. It sounds like Scherzer's not going to make it time back because they need to build him up again. So I don't think he'll be making it to the next round of the playoffs. I do think they're going to add to their pitching rotation this offseason. So I do think so. But Texas and Baltimore is going to be a good series. Young upstart in Baltimore. I mean, Texas got a lot of star power. The Phillies and the Braves. I mean, that's a star power on both sides, and experience and veterans and crap. Like, that's going to be a bloodbath. The Phillies and the Braves. That's going to be a really, really good series. But like again, like yeah, I know, Peter. Former Yankees, Montgomery, Sonny Gray, and Nate Eovaldi, all winners in the playoffs. Yeah, and even Josh Johnson got a couple of hits for the Brewers. So, and we'll see if Aaron Hicks does anything for the Orioles. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, it gives you a little bit of insight. It gives me a little bit of insight into what I think the Yankees. In order for the Yankees to, and the reason why I don't think the Yankees are not going to do anything, are going to sit and say not, is because I think they know, like, now that Baltimore's gotten a taste of this, Toronto's getting a taste of this. Even to a degree, Tampa, they're going to fortify. They're going to add pieces to their team, and then Boston's got money to spend, and they got a lot of upstart players, so they're going to add. So the Yankees have no choice but to add pieces and change pieces in order to hang with these guys. Getting guys healthy is not enough to hang with the additions that these guys are going to make. These teams are going to make. So, and you know, that's why I think they're gonna make some moves. How many? I have no idea. But I think they realize that they have no choice. They have no choice. Like those other teams, like um, I could see the Orioles making a couple of big moves. Even the Red Sox, they got a lot of money to spend, and in order for the Yankees to hang and pass these teams, they got to make some moves. They got to do it, bro. I don't think Trevor Bauer is going to be on the Yankees, so they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to go through some major league. Like if this is true, and he's actually innocent, right? And there's like some kind of blackmail or extortion scheme or whatever, somebody tried to rip it, and that it's going to be a while before he gets reinstated officially into baseball. You have to make some public, like there's going to be probably some hearings and other things. So I don't see it happening. Well, I mean, it may happen before the start of next season, but he hasn't pitched um, at the major league level for a couple of years. So and the Dodgers just ate like 2 years of his contract, like $50 million. So, but again, if it winds up being true, then he should be given another opportunity. Where, I don't know, but you know what I mean. And and Rothschild, yeah, yeah. Is Larry Rothschild the pitching coach for the Twins? Man, imagine if we managed the Rangers let bench manage, we might play better. I'll let Bochy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It's good. Good food for thought. If we switch Boom and Bochy, so Bader, yeah, yeah, hamster. I mean, it's just and then somebody told Montgomery that he shouldn't be throwing as many fastballs. I don't know who it was. And then like forcing fastballs, and then he went to St. Louis and threw a lot of forcing. He led his repertoire with forcing fastballs, and um, he was pretty productive actually. So, and he did a little bit of that in Texas too. He had a better roster surrounding him in Texas as well. So, like deeper. And again, he had a pretty much mid to low 3 ERA, so he was solid by himself. But he had a lot more offensive firepower protecting him. So, if they got Yamamoto in the lead, that'd be a really good start, Sean. Another addition to the rotation and a contact hitting left fielder or slash center fielder that they can use as a leadoff hitter. And again, you can complement Lee. Like you can essentially get Lee and um, Candelario, right? And for the price of Bellinger by himself, maybe even less for the price of less than Bellinger by himself. Maybe you'll be able to get Lee Candelario and Kevin Kiermaier for at what Bellinger's going to cost or slightly more. You know what I mean? Like, I think Lee's probably going to get 15 million a year or something like that. 15 million, 16, 17 million, something like that. You might get 5 years, something like a Sheeta contract, yearly Sheeta contract, 5 years, 80 million, 5 years, 85 million, something like that. No, but if they got Yamamoto and Lee, I'd be happy with that. Neither one of them is connected to a qualifying offer. The Yankees don't have to forfeit additional draft picks. So I mean, how do I think Cashman feels knowing that 6 men? I don't really think he cares, to be honest with you, Jennifer. Maybe on occasion he thinks, well, it didn't work out here. It's unfortunate, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think he's spending a lot of time thinking about it, to be honest with you, Jennifer. Yeah. I personally don't know. What do you think, Jennifer? What's your what's your take on that? Yeah, I mean Jordan Montgomery's an innings eater. And again, like to me, he'd have to be a complementary piece. Like if I got Yamamoto and I would get Jordan Montgomery too on top of Yamamoto, like not instead of Yamamoto. Like Yamamoto's the guy I think that we need to get. And Jordan Montgomery afterward, maybe, or somebody else. Rothschild got fired. Okay. Sonny Gray was a heck. He definitely couldn't handle New York, that's for sure. Monty and Evaldi and TG, yes, they did. Evaldi was always injured. He had a big arm, but he always had some injury problems, Evaldi, yeah. So, yeah, he had some injury problems. And now when he's healthy, when he's on, he's very hard to hit. So, if the Yankees don't improve next year, I don't think Boone should return. I think well, it won't be Boone's fault if they don't improve next year. Like if you're saying roster, like if they have a better roster, but they still underperform, then I could see um the justification for an argument for Boone not returning. That I can see. Tats, always a pleasure, man. Thank you for coming on. And come on, dude. Come on, and we'll live stream. Let's set something up, Tats. Let's set something up and do something together. Fans wanting we've gotta go with this whole New York, New Jersey born and bred thing. Mickey Mantle is from the bright lights of ours. No, I get your hamster. I get you, man. And if B's in the house, what's good, my man? What's good? I don't agree with that, JJ, but again, that's just my opinion. I don't think they're gonna stay with what they have and just try to add prospects. It's not they know it's not enough to get past teams like Tampa and teams like the Orioles who are going to add. Like Orioles have the number one farm in baseball. They can make a trade for anybody they want. And don't be surprised if they do. Don't be surprised if they do. So I do think the Yankees will probably get at least one big contract and then litter it with some other things. So if you get Yamamoto 7 years, 180, that's a pretty good deal. And 7 years, 175 is 25 per. I could see something like that. Yeah, and I mean it's been a good so far. It's been a good playoffs, man. It's been a good playoffs. 50% of your predictions, man. You're batting 500, baby. Let's go. Yeah, damn right, Sean. Exactly. If Rodon, Nestor, and Montez all recover, I don't think Montez will be back personally. So, um, and a winning record with all the injuries. Yeah, I mean, agree. It's surprising that they did have a winning record with all the injuries. I mean, Judge missed 50 games. Stanton missed 50 games. Nestor's missed probably 3 months. Rodon missed 3 months. Like big injuries across the board. A lot of relievers down. Like they had a litany of injuries, and yet they still had a winning record. So, got to give them credit where it's due, and that's credit worthy. You know, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if the pitching staff are insane or whether the fan, like the New York City fan base, were insane. We just don't know. It just wasn't good here. Wasn't good here for whatever reason. Just wasn't a fit. Nola was good tonight, NFE. Seven shutout. Mm-hmm. Seven shutout innings. Yeah, I think Stephen B. That they're scouting him pretty extensively, so they know. And since they're spending so much time tracking this guy, that they can't cheap out on the contract. Like they're gonna have to be the highest bidder, no matter what the hell that bid is. They're gonna have to be the highest bidder, right? No. Mm-hmm. Hal does feel the pressure, and he knows he's gonna have to make some probably uncomfortable moves, and he's gonna have to spend more than he'd probably like to. It's that simple. It's that simple. No. And Sonny Green, yeah, he did get the better res. Yeah, must be injured. On the Twins roster. Gallo, I'm not sure. He might be, Peter. He might be. No. Who are we talking about? Jennifer Cashman? I don't know if he sounds like that type that doesn't care, but he's very good at brushing off loud noise. Because most of the stuff that's just tantrum stuff and like you know it's the endless baloney, a lot of emotional tirades, devoid of logic and devoid of common sense and devoid of anything just sensible. So like you know he's very and you have to do that in New York. Like you got to be able to brush it off. Just because he might look like he doesn't care doesn't mean it's not getting to him. So I would imagine some of the stuff is getting to him, but you got to be able to brush that stuff off. You have to. I would agree too, Jonathan. The Orioles will be aggressive, and that means every other team in the AL East is going to have to be aggressive too, including the Yankees. Someone predicted Yamamoto will get 8 years, 215. Mm-hmm. I would still give him an opt-out after 5 years. I would give him an opt-out after 5 years. I would definitely do it, or 6 years, or whatever. So I heard K calling the play. He was calling the Twins game tonight. I saw that K Rod. Yeah, yeah, Batista surgery. Yeah, I mean that's gonna hurt the Orioles, and they can't. It's too late to get a new closer. So like, they gotta makeshift what they got now, Peter, which is true. But yeah, dude, Yamamoto's the guy. He's the guy to get for the Yankees, no doubt. No, GMs and managers are getting fired. Not in Yankees land. Even 107 games, winner Padres manager. Um, Padres manager hasn't got fired, did he? They didn't win 107 games this year. The Giants got fired. Gabe Kapler got fired. Buck Showalter is not coming back with the Mets. Terry Francona is retiring. Craig Counsell's contract's up, so he might move on. So, and GMs, yeah, people will be moved on from them. And again, it's different, you know, different situation where they're at, JJ. But again, the obsession with firing Boone and Cashman here is like, it's had zero impact. Zero. So and they've already suggested both are coming back. So I'm hoping at some point people can move on from it and like let's focus on what we need to do to make make the team better. You know what I mean? Oh, and that's but yeah, 3 to 4 quality bats. 4 is a lot to ask. Yeah, I mean 4 being. Can you imagine if they got? Let's just say they got Lee, Kiermaier, and Candelario. Would you be happy with that, NFE? You got a switch hitter there. You got your left fielder, and you have a center fielder right there. 2 outfielders and a third baseman. There's a switch hitter, 2 of which are good contact hitters. The other one, Kiermaier, is an elite defender who also puts the ball in play. He's a gap hitter. He has a little bit of power. He's an elite defender, and he's known for having a penchant for getting clutch hits. So, would you be happy with those 3 bats? I'll take those 3 over one Cody Bellinger. My wife is very happy to feel this advance, Sean. Yeah, my wife. Yeah, she's her and her dad are very excited. Nola would help with the rotation with Yamamoto, Yassi, but my fear is that's going to be too expensive. Which I would, you know what I mean? And I can't wait sending Cashman on company time. Yeah, Sean. Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, Yamamoto and Nola would be phenomenal, I feel, but I would take Yamamoto and Monty or Yamamoto and trading for a pitcher. There's something, something else. But at Lee, oh yeah, Sean, my wife's very happy. So, my wife's very happy, Sean. Very happy that the Phillies won. Her and her dad are pretty excited. I still think Torres gets traded too, Jonathan. I'm with you there. How many championships do we win? Well, I don't know, um, how long they've used analytics for. I have no idea if they used it back in the day when they were winning championships in the 90s. They utilize it differently now. It's like they utilize it like gospel now. And I think this guy Eli Fishman, where he's like he has this mentality of he's right, you're wrong. You got to move on from this guy Fishman, not Eli Fishman. What the hell's his name? Josh Fishman, whatever something his name is. But from Fishman, he's the head of analytics, and I think we need to move on from this guy. I do. Cousin of Phillies ground crew, exactly. Nice. 2008, the Phillies won the World Series, Stephen. Nice. Yeah, it does suck not watching Yankee baseball, but again, it's fun watching these guys play, and it just like it shows. Like I'm watching I mean, I'm curious to see how the Orioles are going to do, and the Yankees have to prepare for like teams like the Orioles. They got to prepare for teams like the Twins now, and the Rangers. The Rangers star-studded. The Twins are more balanced. They have a diversified attack now. And the Yankees have to prepare for all these different scenarios, all these different teams, because they're going to be facing them on a regular basis. So it's where we get a well-rounded team. We need more contact hitters. We need more speed. We need more athleticism. So hopefully the Yankees will do that against the Twins attack. And the Twins have a lot of right-handed pitchers, so we need to get some good left-handed bats who can hit righties. So and this is this type of stuff that I think is important to factor into our off-season logic. If that makes sense. We would have had to be that aggressive this offseason and deal with the East, but if so have enough times, and I will continue to say. Right now we are, Mr. Brian. I mean, the Orioles have gotten quite a few years of number 1 draft picks or top 3 draft picks, and They're developing, and they developed some guys like Cedric Mullins, they got Adley Rushman. Like, this is what happens. Like, it happened with the Rays when they first come. They had like 10 years of number one draft picks in a row, and then all of a sudden they were awesome. The Orioles have had that, and they're taking advantage of it. And they're going to build around these young kids with trades and free agents and all this other stuff. And the Red Sox are doing that now. I mean, the Red Sox gutted their farm to get players like Chris Sale, and they're getting other guys too. So I mean, who knows if they're going to re-sign Alex Verdugo? But they've got a lot of young players now that are up and coming, and they have money to spend. So in Tampa Bay Rays, they're coming off injuries, but they always have a good pitching rotation. They always have good international players, so they're going to continue to develop well. So the Yankees are going to have to be. They got to figure out ways to beat all these types of teams. Like, every team we just mentioned has a different characteristic than the Yankees. So, and it's important for the Yankees to know how to beat these guys. You know what I mean? Hating? Oh, I know you're not hating, Brian. I know you're not hating. You folks, but there's some other fucks. There's some other folks that it's just endless hate for Boone and endless hate for Cashman without any constructive criticism that goes along with it. It's just like it's almost like trolling and propaganda. It's actually it's just completely worthless. But whatever. But not you guys. I mean, we try to be as constructive, and that's why I say, like, all different viewpoints are good. It elevates the conversation. We push each other to think and have some you know thoughtful comments and thoughtful responses. But yeah, Cashman Hound, yes, they do, Tyler. They got a lot to prove this offseason. You're damn right. I don't know what we had analytics, JJ, but I don't know to what degree. I don't think to the degree we had now. So I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, Sean, I'd be happy with all three of those guys. And again, they can get all three of these guys for like less than it's going to cost for a Juan Soto. Like, um, you know, barely more than it'll cost to get a Cody Bellinger. Like, it's just, and again, three guys. You know what I mean? To me, that's worth looking at if they can do it. Yeah, the Phillies look good. Oh, the same here, NFA. Like, like we've said this, we've talked about this. I like Cody Bellinger, but again, this could be a 1 year wonder. I worry about him. I'd rather have Candelario. Like I said this the other day, Candelario himself is going to cost less than Gleyber Torres. When Gleyber Torres gets his extension after next year, if he's still here, like, he's going to get probably $20 million a year, whether it's here or somewhere else. And Candelario is going to cost less. Okay, and if let's just say we trade Torres, you move Peraza to second, you sign Candelario for third. You just got better defensively in two positions. Okay, you added contact hitting with Candelario as a switch hitter, athleticism. So, like, they got better in a lot of different ways. I'll take that over Torres and Donaldson. Like, yeah, we'll probably miss some of Torres' production, but again, he's not hitting 40 home runs a year. He's not hitting 300. He's not hitting like Luis Arias. He's not hitting like, Brian Reynolds. Like, he's not hitting like these guys. And his defense it offsets his offense way too often. So that's just the way I look at it. I mean, Yamamoto, Soto, and Candelario, that would be a freaking phenomenal offseason, Tyler. I mean, they have they have the depth in the farm to get a Soto. It's just a point of whether they're willing to do it. They have plenty of pitching prospects, plenty of outfield prospects. They can put together a package for Juan Soto. They can. They can. It's just the point of, do they want to give him the money that's going to go along with it, and it's an extension. You know what I mean? No. Joe Fisher was forced to get. Oh, I remember that casino whacking in the cornfields. Yeah. Damn, that's pretty sweet. A Mike Fishman. That's it. Mike Fishman. Yeah. Eli. Eli's his son, really? All right. Oh, Eli's actually a content creator, right? I like Eli better than his dad. Mhm. I don't like the way Mike presents the analytics and talks about it. It rubs me the wrong way. Trouble with the curve that gets shut up. Yeah, yeah, Sean. I remember. That's a good example. It's a good example. Exactly, too, NFA. Yes. I mean, I would take Lee, Kiermaier, and Candelaria over Soto by himself. Right? Yeah, and they have to change that, Mr. Bryan. They got to change. They got week while the teams get. They have to change that. They do. So the Blue Jays look terrible. They got exposed, and just got beat by Twins, who were I think at that this point they were due to win a round. So, but we'll see. Rice, apparently they have their eyes on him, NFA. If they were, I think you're going to have to give him like between 85 and $100 million a year if you want to get him back. I think NFA. I think it might cost. He might say, "You want me back? You got to pay." Like, you know, okay. But again, I'm not even right out the gate. I'm going after Yamamoto. Day one of free agency, I'm going after Yamamoto. Day one. All right. So, and that's it. Uh, I'm not worrying about Jordan Montgomery until I'm done with Yamamoto. You know what I mean, Rangers are looking good. Really, yeah, Clemenza, they are looking good. Yep. And they're looking calm, relaxed. Corey Seager is probably a contender for the MVP. You got these other guys. Dale Eovaldi looks good. Montgomery looks good. Like they've added a lot of good, productive veterans to this roster the last 2 3 years, and I expect them to add this offseason. My free agent predictions. I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be surprised. But right now we're underdogs, Brian. Yeah, we are. Damn right. We can't. It's hard to deny that. It really is. So yeah, we're hearing that too, Billy. Like that it's now. We're hearing that they're going to pay to watch how another company runs its analytics and then compare it to how they run theirs. Like it's just such a bumble story. But that's what we're hearing too, Billy. So I don't know what the hell to believe. I don't care what they do as long as it makes them. If it makes them better and use analytics better, then I'm for it. But we need that to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Torres is going to make 20 million a year, Jonathan. Like, I I don't see a scenario where he makes less than that. And I agree. I don't think the Yankees are going to give it to him. So, which is where it makes sense to trade him and get pitching back. So, I wouldn't go enough. I mean, Marcus, what's his name? Um, Simeon got more than 20. Seager got more than 20 for an infielder. Travis Story got more than 20. Uh, Torres I think he's going to make more than 20. I'd be surprised if he didn't. So if Soto costs 40 million, I'd rather take Yamamoto 25 and Jung Hoo Lee 15. I'm fine with that if they got both of them. Like I really am. And then they could, keep developing, get the Martian healthy, and then keep developing Spencer Jones. Like, I would love one Soto. He's like my number one guy, but like they don't get him, they don't get him. And oh boy, Billy's getting busy. Billy's getting busy, baby. Ooh, you think the Phillies are gonna take the Braves in 4-star potatoes? Oof, that'd be a tough one. That's gonna be a tough one. Phillies beat the Braves last year, though, in the playoffs, so we'll see. Yeah, well, exactly, Billy. Yeah, money and Moneyball and analytics and sabermetrics and like, yeah, makes you think a little bit. But I don't know. Like, I wish we knew what the hell how the Yankees are using their analytics. That way, we can actually compare it to Moneyball. Like, you know what I mean? But you're right about that. It hasn't helped the Indians win a world championship. That's for damn sure. If that's the case, if they're using it that way in real life. um, yeah, everybody got swept. You see, all everybody got swept, baby. Build on offense. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, that lineup was just there was no holes in that lineup. And I think that lineup was relentless, persistent. They hated to lose. They were hungry. They were attacked everywhere. And that's the type of lineup. Like, and then they have dominant pitching too. They had Wells, El Duque. They had like they had the squad there. They had the squad there. So damn right he's not backing up his trash talk, Vladdy. You got that right. Got that right. Well, and if he's right too, spending money doesn't always win championships. Look at the Mets. Look at the Padres. Doesn't always happen. So yeah, Yankees, Mets, and Padres spent $880 million signing it. Wow, it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Exactly, Sean. It doesn't replace it. It should complement it, not replace instincts of baseball IQ. Good fundamental skills. We learned growing up fundamental baseball. Like I don't remember at any point in time where they shoved an iPad in my face and said, "Learn this way." It was always talking with coaches, talking with it was always fundamental, always. No, uh, Diamondbacks to the Braves. Nah, nah. I mean, I'm okay with the Phillies facing them. I'm okay with the Phillies facing them. I mean, I do think the Diamondbacks have a shot at getting past the Dodgers, and well, I mean, I would love for them to face the Braves in the NLCS, but we'll see. Rather than the NLDS, I think that'll be an exciting series, 7-game series. So, brass tacks, yeah. Center field, left fielder, starter, and reliever. They gamble on not getting younger and more athletic in 23. Yeah, it bit them twice in the ass, 3 times in the ass, Billy. I mean, bit a chunk out of their ass. Shoot. Worst hit on the Yankees. Yeah, 98. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like crazy. Upsetting. I would love for the Twins to upset the Astros, man. That would be freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal if they did that. The worst hitter on the 98 team, the starting lineup hit 290. Damn. This means the Yankees are looking to learn how to use analytics compared to other teams. I don't know secondhand. We don't know enough to know what their actual plan or intentions are. I don't know. It sounds like they're all but admitting that they're not using it properly, and I thought they were, but it wasn't working. So they're only going to admit so much. They're not going to admit, yeah, we fucking blew this analytics experiment. Like they're not going to admit that ever, and let's not expect them to. Um, but I expect their actions to speak louder than their words. So, but dude, I mean, if you can secure three, they can secure 3 bats. They can. Just don't expect it to be Bellinger and Soto and like let's stay on planet Earth here. Like if they somehow got Lee and Candelario and one more guy, I'd be all right with that. I'd be okay with that. Especially if you got a Yamamoto too. Like if I mean, yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Brooms, yeah, the Brooms are definitely working overtime. Hell yeah. And the 2023 Yankees, I think their team batting average like 223 is one of the lowest in baseball. Cone, we had Cone, we had Wellesley, we had Duque, like we had the squad. We had the squad. Also we have Sterling Hitchcock, I think, right? Ramiro Mendoza. We had a squad. Squad. Have a great night, Jennifer. Always a pleasure having you on. We Yankees could never forget it. I don't know, JJ. I don't know. Got to beat them. Show them they can beat them without the cheating. You know what I mean? Or with the cheating, whatever. You got to beat the freaking Astros, and I think that's probably the best way to say we forgive them after we kicked their ass a few times. And yeah, I mean, yeah, same thing. Use that young anger as fuel, turn it into something productive and effective. And you for every weakness, stuff like that, there's an offsetting strength. So, like, again, you can transfer it into more productive energy. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Yeah, Steven. Gold Standard built a team with Alex and study how that team. Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of role players, a lot of really good, reliable role players, Steven. They did. And pitching depth all across the board, rotation and bullpen too. So healthy pitching depth. Well, but I don't know if he would use the 98 team as a blueprint either. I mean, if you did, you'd have to get a guy like Lee. You'd have to get a Candelera. You'd have to get a Kevin Kiermaier. You'd have to get guys like that. You have to, because that's the type of guys that kind of ran the engine in '98, right? So yeah, man, the Braves are looking like the '98 Yankees. They look freaking like like an unstoppable force. The freaking Braves. So. Hmm. Phillies didn't stand a second chance. Yeah, and they beat the Philly. They beat the Braves last year. I think the Braves are a different team this year, obviously. And you got a healthy Acuna. You got freaking Olson now. You got it's a more formidable team. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about it. So, um, oh yeah, yeah. Braves. I think they do want revenge for last year. I really, really, I agree. I could agree 100%, Brian. 100%, guys. Um, yeah, I have. I'm with NFP too, but I have a hard time seeing any team beating the Braves. So I really do. It's just I struggle for the Braves are a well-oiled machine everywhere, everywhere. Sterling Hitchcock was at the Padres in '90. Okay, so it's Mark Langston. Seems made a bad. I mean, maybe I meant Ted. Maybe I meant Ted Lilly. NFE teams made bad choices, starting with trading for Stanton. Well, it turned into a bad choice. It was a good choice at the time. He came right off his MVP season. If you look at his stats, he's actually even though he's been hurt the last couple of years. But let me pull this up just for perspective, all right? Just to put this in perspective, if Stanton after what? After 2018, right? So that's 2018. Yeah, no, after 2017. So his first year with the Yankees, 38 home runs, 100 RBIs, and uh, and clutch he had 266. Clutch hitting too in the postseason. Second year, 2019, he had some injuries. He only played 18 games and 3 home runs, 13. And then 2020 was a COVID season, so everybody had an abbreviated season. Then 2021, again, 35 home runs, 97 RBIs. 2022, 31 home runs, 78 RBIs. And 2023, 24 home runs and 60 RBIs. And he missed 61 games 61 games in 2023. He missed 52 games in 2022. Missed 23 games in 2021. Obviously, 2019 he missed 144 games. He missed a ton of games. So like a lot of missed time. But since he's been here, he's been over 30 home runs 3 times. Um, 3 times in 6 years. And this year, 24, and he missed like 50 something games. So He would be over home runs 4 times in 6 years if he had he not missed those games. So, um, hey, my consigliere's in the house. What's good, my man? So, I like to look at it that way too. He has been when he's on the field, and healthy, he's pretty dominant. But we need him to be healthy, and we definitely do that. Need him to be freaking healthy. Mariano, oh God, Hater, Bednar and Hater. I'll take one of those. My consigliere's in the house. Yeah. Thoughts about Toronto pulling Barrios for only 47 because he wanted the lefty match. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a little bit of a questionable move by the manager, but um, I don't think they were going to beat the Twins either way. So, I thought the Twins were going to get through the round. So, Max Fried gave 2 runs in a simulated game of 5 innings, right? Yeah. Charlie Martin's not pitching, and Max and Spencer Strider to give up runs. So it's going to be all. I mean, Phillies have to jump on their pitching. There's no doubt about it. They have to jump on Braves pitching, and they have to use their pitching to shut the Braves down because their offense is ridiculous, freaking ridiculous. They have 4 dudes with 100 home run, 100 RBIs. Like their offense is ridiculous. So their Phillies pitching has to be on point, absolutely on point. Yeah, man. Joel, how's the recovery going, my man? My consigliere. How you feeling? Oh yeah, I love Vladdy getting picked off. Loved it. I'm glad he's not on the Yankees, Vlad Jr. No. Yeah, Billy. Yeah, I mean, but you know, like whatever. That's the way exactly. That's the way baseball goes. That Joey Gallo's in the postseason, the Yankees are not. I get it. And as Ron Washington would say, yeah, yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? Um, Rangers outscoring arrogant Rays. Yeah, I mean, it's just they're the Rays. I mean, their pitching has had way too many injuries, been decimated by injuries, and the Rangers have a star-studded lineup. Now this new kid Evan Carter, like a rookie, like these star players, and then they have these evolution of young kids like Jonah Hine, their catcher, and this kid Evan Carter. Like a couple of these young guys are turning into like their version of Jordan Alvarez and what that kid from the outfield, from the Astros. I forgot his name, but like they have their own version of these guys. So at the right time, with all these veterans, we got freaking Simeon there, you got Corey Seager, you got all these other dudes, like just at the right time. Yeah, and the Rays, I mean, like they don't have Juan DeFranco there. They 3 of their starters are out from Tommy John. So like Kyle Tucker, that's right. Like the Rangers have their own version of these guys. So Justin, I'm doing my predictions tomorrow. I'm gonna finalize the content tonight, and I'm gonna do my predictions for tomorrow. Arizona, LA. I do think the Arizona Diamondbacks can beat them. I do think they can beat them. An upstart team. Mm-hmm. The Rangers are getting hot right now, but again, we'll see how they do playing against the Orioles. Could be a completely different matchup. You know, the Orioles have a much more diversified attack than the Rays do. But welcome, West Coast, Justin. Welcome. Yeah, but so that's the playoffs right now, guys. Those are the playoffs. It's going to be interesting. Again. I'm going to preview the divisional rounds tomorrow. I'll give you my predictions, and I got a lot more other content coming out. I'm finalizing Joey from the Shift potentially coming on the channel tomorrow night. There are no games tomorrow night. The third game would have been tomorrow night, but everybody swept. So I finalizing with Joey from the Shift. We're going to do our MLB free agent predictions for 2024 on a live stream. So get ready for that, gang. That's coming. That's going to be a lot of fun. And but that's what we got for you right now. So I appreciate you all coming on. Peace and love to you, gang. Yeah, just be careful, Joel. Take your time and Do what you can. Control what you can control, but get better. Can only imagine. That's a tough, like, we use our phalanges, we use our fingers and wrists and everything else for pretty much everything. And when you operate and make it harder, you know, it definitely throws a different dynamic. But yeah, tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow night, and if I'm finalizing it and texting them back and forth tonight. So we have our list, and it's always great to have you. I love having you guys and gals on here too. So I appreciate you. But get ready. MLB free agent predictions are up next. So have a great night, everybody. Peace and love, and I'll talk to you all next time.